Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the usual disclaimers, if you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called Behavior Modification Program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article. Share on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips through surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to use your headphones, good God. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised. Now we are going back this afternoon, folks, to where we left off yesterday into the new proposed ban that was put up by the FDA last year. The very same one that the JRC is suing them for as though they had a leg to stand on. Yeah, that's what we're going over now. Now, this next paragraph, I may have read it last night. I've slept since then, but sometimes things bear repeating, so we'll go ahead and just jump on into it, alright? Sorry. Gotta have my background noise that you all can't hear. To protect the individual from injury caused by SIBs and to protect others from injury caused by AB, some form of intervention may be required. So when we're removing the device, we need to have something in place to replace it in regards to taking care of self-injurious behavior or aggressive behavior. And it needs to be there quickly. Because what have I told you, folks? Usually, those of us, especially neurodivergents, when we've been abused, those behaviors come back after long masking and they come back with a vengeance. So that's just practical there. There have been existing pharmacological treatments, like the one I'm on now called Paxil, and behavioral interventions for individuals who manifest SIB and AB. Behavioral treatment strategies may employ positive approaches to reward appropriate behavior and negative approaches to discourage inappropriate behavior. I'm sorry, that one drives me like insane. It's absolutely maddening. And the reason why is, but you need to know that that behavior is wrong. No shit. You don't say. There are cases, particularly when we're younger, that yes, we need to be shown that it's inappropriate behavior. By the time we're in our teenage years, you've become a patronizing, condescending piece of crap in our eyes by then. Obviously, by the time we're teenagers and you're still doing it over the similar behaviors, obviously, we got the memo. Obviously, we know it's wrong, which means if we are engaging in that particular behavior, something's wrong. It's your job to find out what that is. Okay? Particularly when they talk about low frequency behaviors, behaviors that come out rarely. Obviously, we got the memo that they're wrong. That's why they're rare. It will never stop entirely. But if you want to help in regards to those severe, rare occurrences, the idea would be to find out what triggered it, not punishment. Because punishment about around that age breeds nothing but resentment. Believe me, I'm talking from experience here. Physical measures and protective equipment may also be used to reduce the immediate threat of injury. There is currently one facility at which electrical stimulation devices are used on some individuals with SIB or AB who reportedly have not responded well to treatments. ESDs allowed observers to administer an electric shock to an individual engaging in SIB or AB or engaging in a precursor to SIB or AB. Again, what they would call a precursor is completely batshit insane. You stand up longer than 3 seconds, you get a shock. You want to give somebody a hug? Shock. If you do what they call nagging because they ignored you the first time you had your hand up to go to the bathroom, shock. Okay? I want to lay that out extremely clearly because a lot of things that these kids get shocked for is just nothing but blatant cruelty. Nothing but cruelty. Cruelty for cruelty's sake. You should not get shocked because you're standing up for 3 seconds. You ever get in class in high school and you get a wedgie? Well, at the JRC, you better just stay uncomfortable or you're going to get punished for standing up to, dig it out. Right? Yeah, that. What's wrong with people? I know I ask it every day, but it bears repeating, especially these days. Alright, the devices are attached to the individual's body. When the individual engages in the targeted behaviors, an observer using a remote monitor or an automated mechanism attached to the device will trigger the device, delivering an electric shock to the individual's skin. The device is intended to interrupt the behavior and to condition the individual not to engage in the behavior, with the eventual goal of ending SIB and AB in the individual. See, this is what's insane. Because that's impossible. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, folks, but that's impossible. You can't condition something out of an individual that's literally built into our neurology. Okay? You can't brainwash us into being neurotypical. That's not how this works. It's biological. A lot of times it's inherited. And it's going to be there no matter what you do. You can't condition it out. The only thing that conditioning does is it teaches us how to mask. And again, why is that not a permanent solution, Tiff? If you just pretend to be neurotypical, if you're so good at it, why can't you do it all the time? I don't know. Can you pretend to be on at all times? Be social, be engaging, small talk, things that are not natural to you. Could you keep that up 24/7 and denying who you are? No, nobody can. Nobody can. It's psychologically, emotionally, even physically absolutely exhausting. Exhausting. I don't have words for that level of exhaustion. I've had to do it. Had to do it. You can't keep it up forever. Eventually, the mask is going to slip. You see why that doesn't work? The idea behind, but we can condition that behavior out of you and trade it for another behavior is, I'm sorry, never going to work. Okay? Because we are what we are. And no amount of, well, if we can pre-program you to do this instead of this, we're not a computer program. Okay? We are not a computer program. You can't reprogram us through ABA. Okay? Nor can you change our operating system. All right? It's never going to happen. That's what makes this just so. You see what I mean? But we can condition it out of you. Nobody has managed to condition my autism out of me yet. I'm pushing 40. 40. This November, in fact. I am what I am. What brought me out of my shell and made me where I can do things like this is the freedom of being around a group of individuals that share my neurodivergence, around whom I had no need to mask. That acceptance, that was immediate, is how, over time, I became the way you all see me now. All the conditioning and all the bullshit that I went through before they put me in person-centered planning did nothing but increase my anger management issues. And let's be frank here, those were already horrifically bad. All right? I'm just saying. You can't condition, we're not a computer program. You can't program us through conditioning to change who we are. Okay? It's neurological, not behavior. It's neurological, not behavior. It's neurological, it's not behavior. Okay? The sooner we all realize this, the better off all of us is going to be. Okay? But if we give you an alternative behavior and condition you to do it instead, it has not worked a single time with me. No, not even once. Okay? Just saying. Saying is all. Let's get back to it. Sorry, I had to let a little steam out because God, every time they use the word, but we can condition these other responses we've chosen for you, makes me want to twitch. Just saying. If you can tell, it deeply, deeply bothers me. Let's go back to where I was here. The devices operate on the principle of aversive conditioning and are sometimes referred to as adversive. It's punishment, people. Giving it a new fancy word doesn't change what it is or its purpose. Okay? Many individuals prescribed the device, however, may have difficulty in communicating about their experience with it and may lack the ability to consent to its use. No, we don't. I'm tired of that too. It's this idea, right, that we don't understand, that we don't have the mental ability to understand what's happening to us because we communicate in a way that neurotypicals don't understand. Let me put it bluntly. If you are shocking a person and they are screaming, that's a pretty good indicator that they're not consenting to the treatment that you are administering upon them. Most simple thing in the world, right? You would think. But here we all are. All right, we're going to get down to the bottom here and close out for this one. This proposed rule, if finalized, would ban ESDs intended for SIB and or AB. Though similar products may be used for other purposes, we seek only to ban ESDs for SIB and or AB. In other words, we're leaving all the other devices out that are used by adults who use it of their own volition with full control over when the device shocks them. We're not going to continue to allow it to be used on disabled people who did not give their consent in any way, shape, or form to do this insanity here. All right? It's pretty simple, one would think. We're going to close out on that one. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. Folks, you know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to utilize those comments. I appreciate your time. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you all again here in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.